like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
What's good, gang? I'm so glad you're back here with me, Jade, on Jade Hope TV. I hope you all had a great week, and I'm so gassed to bring you today's story. Today's story is about Abraham, Sarah, and God. Let's get into it! So, gang, you know how we do. I'm going to be reading from the Bible and breaking it down a little bit. To be honest, I need your help breaking this down too, because I don't understand all of this story. So any insights, any comments, please drop them in the comment section and let me know what you think. We're reading from Genesis 18, the ESV, which is the English Standard Version. And the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre as he sat at the door of his tent in the heat of the day. He lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth and said, "O Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree while I bring a morsel of bread that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant." So they said, "Do as you have said." And Abraham went quickly into the tent to tell Sarah.
Quick! 3 seahs of fine flour. Knead it and make cake.
And Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to a young man who prepared it quickly. Then he took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree while they ate. They said to him, "Where is Sarah, your wife?" And he said, "She's in the tent." The Lord said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son." And Sarah was listening at the tent door. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, and the way of women, Sarah's period, had ceased. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying,
After I am worn out, and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure?
And the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord?' At the appointed time, I will return to you about this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son." But Sarah denied it, saying, "I did not laugh," for she was afraid. He said, "No, but you did laugh." Sorry, guys. Wait. This must be a good place to pause, yeah, because... Wait. Are you catching the vibes? So Abraham was chilling at the door of his tent, yeah, on a hot day. And he looks up and he sees 3 men. And he knows, like, that they're holy somehow. Like, who are the 2 other men, like, with the Lord? Like, is it Elohim? Is it angels? Like, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, I don't know. Let's just call them God's brethren for now, because, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Abraham knew they were holy because he went over there, he ran over and he bowed down to the earth and he said, "Lord," right? So he asks them, like, "True, you've come this way, like, allow me to, serve you, give you some food, let you chill," stuff like that. So they said, like, "Do as you've said." And that's what we always see in the Bible as well, guys. Like, whenever the Lord speaks or Elohim or heavenly hosts speak, it's always very, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Abraham said all this stuff and they just said, "Do as you have said." You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And so he went, he got really good calf, got someone to prepare it, got Sarah to make some cakes, and then he's standing there watching them at the tree while they eat. I would be standing there watching them too, like, wouldn't you? I mean, God's here, like, what? You know what I'm saying? And so he's standing there watching them, and they're telling him stuff. God starts telling him that Sarah's gonna have a youth. Sarah's listening at the tent. I mean, guys, you know what? I was gonna say I'll be scared, yeah, to listen at the tent, yeah, because it's like...
I know, if it's God, he knows that I'm listening. But then at the same time, God knows my personality, so he knows I'll be listening. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's a mad one. It's like, you couldn't help but listen,
And
you know?
so she's there, and now she laughs to herself. Now remember, she's not in the thing with them. So, and remember as well, they said, where is Sarah, your wife? He didn't say my wife is called Sarah. You know what I'm saying? So all these beautiful elements let us know that they were heavenly hosts and the Lord, or the Lord and his two brethren. Let's just call it that, because, you know. And so Sarah is going to say, no, I did not laugh. Bruh.
Like, what? God says, like, why? Why? It just shows you as humans how we are. Like, we can't help it.
Like, we are so, like, we're low-key rotten, I can't lie. Like, without Jesus, we're done out here. Because we can't help it. Imagine God is there. You got God over for dinner, you know. And you laugh and he knows, and then you say, you didn't. It's a mad thing. You know what I'm saying? But any one of us would do it. Like, we like to think that we would do things different when we see these Bible stories. Like, oh, if I was Eve, I wouldn't have bit the apple.
Yes, you would.
Oh, if I was Judas, I wouldn't have.
Yes, you would.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's human nature. It's a story of human nature. And we can find ourselves in all of these people in the Bible. So yeah, I just had to pause because I found that funny. Like, the way that the Lord said back to her, no, but you did laugh. Like, I love that. It shows his personality again. He's got such a great sense of humor. He's so powerful in his speech. He's just so awesome. And he's so patient. Because imagine that's Loki, you just lied to God's
He could
face.
have just burnt you up. You know what I'm saying?
God is he's just wonderful. Like, I love it. Gives me a chill. Okay. Then the men set out from there and they looked down towards Sodom. And Abraham went with them to set them on their way. The Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him? For I have chosen him, that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord, by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised him. Then the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me, and if not, I will know. So basically, Sodom and Gomorrah were moving mad, and the things they were doing was so egregious that it came up to God, like the outcry came up to God. So he was going down there to see what was going on. I guess to see if he's going to mash up the place, basically, you know. So the men turned from there and went towards Sodom. But Abraham still stood before the Lord.
I would still be standing there too.
Then Abraham drew near and said, will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to put the righteous to death with the wicked, so that the righteous fare as the wicked. Far be that from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just? So basically, Abraham's saying, Lord, you're about to go down to see Wagwan in the place. But what if there's 50 people down there that are righteous? Are you going to mash up the whole place, even though there's 50 righteous people there? Like, you're God. Aren't you supposed to be the standard of justice, right? And the Lord said, if I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Abraham answered, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. I am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And so basically, Abraham's saying,
What about 45? What about 45, Lord?
and God said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Again, Abraham spoke to him and said, suppose 40 are found there. And God said, for the sake of 40, I will not do it. Then Abraham said, O Lord, don't be angry and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. You know the ones where you know you're pushing it, like, you know the ones that I gotta love Abraham though, because I would push it
How
too.
about 100? Lord, what about 100? 99, 98? So, because end of the day, you just want to spend time with the Lord,
I
innit?
just want to like hear what he wants to say. So I can imagine why Abraham was doing that. And you know when you know you're getting on someone's nerves, like, not to say he was getting on God's nerves, but that vibe when he's like, oh Lord, don't be angry, but, you know what I'm saying? And ask him again. That's literally what Abraham was doing. But God is so patient and so kind. He already knows, and he's just beautifully having this dialogue with Abraham. God answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. Abraham said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. God answered, for the sake of 20, I will not destroy it. Then Abraham said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak again, but this once. So he's basically saying,
Lord, let me ask you one more thing.
suppose 10 are found there. God answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way when he had finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Do you love it, guys? Like, you know what I'm going to say. I love it.
I love this story. Like,
You get to see God's personality. He has some dialogue with Abraham. He gets spicy with Sarah. Like, he's got his two brethren there. Like, the story's too lit. It's too lit. I want to know, what do you think about this story? What do you think Abraham was thinking when he was talking to God? What do you think Sarah was thinking? Who do you think his brethren were? God's brethren. Like, I want to know all your thoughts on this story. I love it. I love it. I just love it. So I love you guys. And let's remember to walk the narrow path together.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
What's good, gang? I'm so glad you're back here with me, Jade, on Jade Hope TV. Thank you for being... Oh, my days. What is happening?